There are more and more people coming in. Welcome to you. We start at 11, so we are a little bit off, but you see already the presentation, but we will start at 11 sharp. We're already 10 and we are up till now, we had 100 participants at least who've said they will follow us. We will see. Or you see us, you hear us, and we will communicate. You know that you have the Q&A or the chat you can use. We are there for you to answer your questions and to give you more information about the Netherlands and opportunities in France. Two minutes before we go live, we have already 23 attendees, so it's coming in bit by bit, and we will start sharp at 11 because it's quite a long presentation, but it's interactive, so please, if you have questions, use the chat box. One minute to go, already 37. Axel, can you open your video or come back to us, please?
So hello, good morning France, good morning Netherlands. Thanks for joining us for the online meetup today. And today we'll focus on business opportunities in France, especially in waste management and circular economy. My name is Ruben Dubelaar and I'll be moderating this session. And together with the organizers, we agreed to keep this session short and snappy. So bear with us in the upcoming 15 minutes. We'll have some short presentations and videos, hoping to give you some valuable information on business opportunities in France. So we'll start with some words of welcome by the organizers, the Netherlands Embassy and the NBSO in Lyon. Then we'll go to some tips and tricks on doing business in France by Knapzak, before we go to the presentations of Ademe and Citeo on Plan de Relance and extended producer responsibility. Rijkswaterstaat from the Netherlands will tell us what the effects are of plastic packs on the industry and on the total value chain on plastics and waste. Also, we've highlighted some nice examples of innovative companies around circular economy and waste. And finally, we'll show some possibilities how you can still join Pollutec these days. So without making too much remarks, let me say a few words on Holland Circular Hotspot. I represent Holland Circular Hotspot, and we believe we need international collaboration to scale up circular economy. And that's why we help to set up programs like this, together with public and private partners. And we create an international network with circular economy partners abroad. So we're also glad to catch up today again with our French partner, Orée. We've been working together over the past few years to link French and Dutch entrepreneurs. So I would like to thank you again for joining this session. I would like to invite you to enjoy the presentations of our speakers, and please use the chat box for any questions you might have. So without further ado, I would like to give the floor to Leontine Schijf for an introduction of the Dutch Embassy in Paris.
Welcome everyone. My name is Leontine Schijf. I work at the Dutch Embassy in Paris, and I'm here to introduce our work and our team. We're based in France and also have an office in Lyon where my colleagues Joris and Astrid are working. And we are here for you, Dutch businesses, to help seize the opportunities in France by providing several services. So what are these new opportunities in the circular economy? For that, we need to go back in time to the lockdown in Paris in March of 2020, when the streets were empty, but the trash cans were full. So what was happening here? Well, the Netherlands and France are quite different. While we see that France has a much bigger internal market, their waste management system is not as developed in many ways as the Dutch market is. So it's no coincidence that COVID led France to invest more in waste management with their Plan de Relance, the French Recovery Investment Plan, which has 100 billion euros to spend in the next 2 years, mostly on the ecological transition and especially on circular economy, to which part goes to waste management and part to plastic recycling. And this is what poses these new opportunities for you, the Dutch businesses, to do business in France. Because the Netherlands is offering expertise for circular economy solutions and France is looking for them, and especially investing in waste management and plastic recycling. And that is why we should collaborate for an international circular economy. But don't waste your time and try to do this all alone. The embassy is here to help you. So contact us, and I thank you for your attention.
Bonjour, bienvenue à tous. Iedereen van harte welkom. Thank you, Leontine, Ruben, and Astrid. I'm very happy to be here in front of you. Nice to have you all. Today we have a lot of people connected. NBSO, what does it stand for? Netherlands Business Support Office. We are here to help you, worldwide network to promote Dutch business abroad. We have a great team with a lot of experience, local contacts, and good knowledge of the markets, ready to share with you, Dutch companies. We are there for you. In France, we are in Nantes and Lyon. With our colleagues at Embassy, we are one business team. What do? We organize meetings like today, usually physical, but more and more online. Business goes on. Helping entrepreneurs with their first steps at export or giving good advice to exporting companies with best tips and tricks how to do business in France. We do communicate about market opportunities, connecting people with right partners by organizing meetings and matchmaking. Last but not least, support you with your next contracts. Yes, we do business in all sectors and do focus on clean tech, life science and health, and mobility. Why Lyon? The capital of gastronomy, first industrial city in France, a big digital hub, and the crossroads to the south of Europe. Please join us for more information. You are always welcome. And now back to Ruben.
Thank you, Joris. So we're glad that Clotilde of Orée is joining us today. Clotilde, may I invite you to briefly say a few words of welcome and introduce yourself and Orée?
Yes, thank you, Ruben. Hello, everybody. I'm very happy to be here as well with you today and to be able to participate in this webinar. So let me just start with a few words about Orée. So Orée is a multi-actor professional association which was created in 1992 and which brings together companies, local authorities, NGOs, academic and institutional organizations together to develop a common thought process on a territorial scale. So we work on three main topics, which are biodiversity, reporting CSR, and circular economy. And I like to summarize our work by saying that we have three jobs. The first one is to explain, so how to ensure that our three topics are well understood and promoted at all levels so that they percolate in all the directions. Then designing tools, so once people are convinced, they always ask the same question, which is what can we do concretely? So we are very open and we try to be as well very creative in terms of formats for these tools, and they can be web platforms, different types of indicators, guidebooks. Of course, we're doing a lot of webinars. So many different types of tools. And then the third job that we have is to animate networks and communities. So we are very aware that the dynamics of the actors are based on a collective emulation, and it's necessary for actors who are trying to transform to share their best practices, but also just have a space to exchange about the transformation process that they are going through. And that's our job to animate these spaces. So I guess there is a bunch of companies here, and we're also very happy to support you in doing this in France. Just before stopping, I'd like to highlight that Orée and the Netherlands have already a very good and strong relationship, thanks to the Dutch embassy and the Holland Circular Hotspot. We have already organized together 2 study trips in the Netherlands for our members. Our goal was that our members discover your business solution in the circular economy. And during the study trip to The Hague, an MOU was signed between the Holland Circular Hotspot and Orée to share best practices, encourage the organization of future events on the subject of circular economy, and to stimulate exchange between the French and the Dutch companies and governments. So thank you very much, everyone in the...
Yeah, thank you very much for joining us, Clotilde, and great to hear that there's support for Dutch businesses also via Orée. And now we move on to a nice example of a company that started doing business in France a while ago. They actually went to the Pollutec exhibition and now have a big part of their business in France. So we invited them to share with us how they developed their business in France. So we're gonna have a look at the video of Knapzak.
Doing business in France, experiences from Knapzak. First of all, here's a short introduction of Knapzak, and then I will tell you about our experiences in France and at last about Plastics Pact. Knapzak wants to make waste separation as easy as possible for companies. That's why we created the Knapzak system that consists of a knapzak holder and a knapzak. With this system you can collect plastic waste at warehouses, distribution centers, shops and much more. We also have many other waste and container bags and bins for waste separation. Knapzak Benelux has been active on the French market for over 20 years. It all started when we took part in a fair called Pollutec that suited our target group. Thereafter, we continued to visit the leads on a structural base and we tried to build a relationship with them. After a few years of investing our time and effort, we saw a growth in our French customer base. Now, 20 years later, we are the market leader with our Knapzak system in France. The French market is more than 50% of our profit. We noticed that French customers like the following about us as a supplier. We speak French fluently. The French like to be spoken to in their own language. We respond quickly to requests for quotations or other questions. We ship orders quickly and we have a good quality price ratio. We take time for our customers. Compared to the Dutch, French people are less direct. They want to build a relationship with you and placing an order can therefore take some time. Make sure you know your customer well and visit them at least once a year. If you want to score quickly, the French market isn't the right place for you. It's a matter of patience. For example, some of our customers decide to place an order after a few weeks and sometimes it takes more than over a year. That's not exceptional. Knowing the culture is also important. The French like to have an extensive lunch at noon, so take your time for your potential customer and take them out for lunch or dinner. You must know who the right person is to do business with. In France, the hierarchy is still present, so you need to know if your conversation partner is a decision maker or not. If not, make sure you get to that right person. Payment behavior in France is also very different than what we are used to in the Netherlands. Don't be surprised if a French customer wants to pay by check or if he wants a payment term of 60 days. What about the Plastics Pact? We see this as an opportunity for us, not a threat. Many of our products are already made of recycled material and we are trying to make our products completely circular.
Well, it's nice to see, of course, such a great introduction of a company that's doing business. It's no lunchtime yet, so Olivier Chazal of Ademe, we invited you to tell us a bit more on the project, what's happening also in times of COVID-19. We heard about the Plan de Relance, so may I please invite you to tell us a bit more on the upcoming projects in France?
Thank you very much, Ruben. I would like to thank everyone to participate to this event today. And as you may know, Ademe is the French agency for energetical and environmental transition. So we have more 40 years of expertise because we are a public body, a public agency created in 1992 by its fusion of merging of three different agencies. The first, the waste agency, the air quality agency, and the energy agency. So today our mandate is to implementing the French policy about energetical and ecological transition in France, and we depend directly of the Ministry of Ecological Transition and another ministry, very important for us, the Ministry of Higher Education. So we are less than 100 people. We have 3 headquarters, one in Paris, the main in Angers near Nantes, and the other one in the French Riviera for about energy topics. And we also are in all the French region. We have offices in 17 French region and 3 overseas territories. And we share, for example, some project in St. Martin's Island with the Netherlands. Which I will just go quickly on this slide about the historical background for waste management and circular economy in France. Much more, I will lay the stress much more on the 5 last year, so or to 10 last year. So in 2009, which is very important for us, is the Grenelle law that emphasizes solid waste management policies. So we've done ambitious prevention and recycling goals. We have also the generalization of local and local prevention plans and programs. In 2015, we have another law. So it is the law for the energy transition and green growth that define an integrated approach to waste management. And in 2018, we have the circular economy roadmap with a dedicated law for circular economy in February 2020 with 100 special measure anti-waste for recycling, reuse, and repairing technologies. Next one, please. So what is Ademe mission on this topic? Oh, thank you. So first, we advise the government on policies and measures. We support for implementation of national and regional local plans. We are in touch with local authorities also. We provide expertise for companies and for local authorities on their plans to reduce their own waste. We also created public awareness, which is very important also for the change of behavior. And we support a lot of investment because we manage the waste national fund, which it's about 200 million per year to finance a project in waste management. And then we also we are doing a lot of support for research and innovation for new green technologies. So we manage the Waste National Fund. So over the last decade, over 1.5 billion euros were allocated. It's about 50,000 operations, which include studies for decision making, financial support for local authorities and companies for the investment projects, and working with also local authorities to implement new mechanisms, for example, pay-as-you-throw, which is a very innovative project for French local authorities. Instead of flat rate, so for example, we work with the city of Besançon for the last 10 years to implement this policy and to have like big results in the reduction of the waste amount for the municipal waste. Next one. So we also manage two important databases. So the first one is Citeo. Citeo, all these databases are open on the web, so you can go to check information. So it is a decision support tool for local authorities that help local government to understand what are the actions they could do, what kind of financing support they could take from Ademe and also the region. And it is very important for you to understand what are also the local projects which are already done on the French municipality or French region to address the right people. Next one. Optiged is another platform. So which is important, all these platforms are in French. So I invite you to work with French speaking people to understand what are inside these two databases. But it's very important for communities and companies to have exchange of expertise and exchange of good practices through this platform. Which could give you some tool to help your customer or to understand the French market, which is very important. So I invite you to see these two platforms. So next one, please. So the French Plan de Relance. So it is very important for Ademe because on this 30 billion euro of energetical transition plan, Ademe has today its budget increase up. No, it's too early. Could we go back to the previous slide, please? So yeah, Ademe is today managing. So we have 2.2 billion euros to implement the Plan de Relance, the recovery plan in France. In this amount, 500 million are dedicated to circular economy that Ademe will directly be in charge of this new funds. So next one. So these 500 million are divided in the first one, investment for incorporation of recycled plastic. It's 140 million. So this fund is a special call for projects in France called Hotspot. Could fund directly up to 70% the studies and the feasibilities studies, up to 55% for investment for modernization of sorting plants, and up to 55% of investment for preparation of recycled materials. So the call for project is already online for this amount, and also you could you have to go to our website dedicated called Agir pour la transition énergétique, and you have also on the slide the link to the call for projects. Next slide, please. So we also have 84 million euro for modernization of sorting and recycling plan, which are directly linked to the new producer responsibility plan. So we also have 61 million euro for investment for reduction, reuse, and repair and development of other alternatives on circular economy, which are dedicated to innovation, action for local with local territories, for waste management, for anti-food waste management, for example, or every kind of action that made for repairing electronics. So next one. So we also have 100 million euro plan for bio-waste, which support directly the collection, the sorting, and the valorization, because we have different kind of local action. For example, we have syndicates which gather a few cities, so they could also have support in the investment plan up to 50% for example, collection and support and modernization of infrastructures, and up to 55%.
Sorry to break it, just break in for a short while, please. Take into account the time because we need to.
Yeah, so
it's very interesting. So please continue, but we need to wrap up.
I will go quick. And also 55% for private projects. So next one. Very important also for us, it's refuse and derived fuel. So we put a big envelope to develop new projects, and the call for project will be done next year. Next one. And we have also, for the last slide, I would say, also few million euros. So also for reported recycled plastic, to reduce medical waste, 10 million euros, 5 million euros for traceability in the building sector, for the waste from the building sector, and 4 million euros for strategic DIAG, which are diagnostic for the plastic sector. So in conclusion, so first, waste management is a big topic. We work on the very different fields. And I invite you, if you want to have more information, to go on our website, to ademe.fr, and to have a few contact with me if you need information about the French Plan de Relance and the action we will be implemented by Ademe. So thank you very much and have a good day.
Thank you very much, Olivier. I think for all of the attendants, very interesting to hear the projects and to hear more about it. Let me briefly go to one question from the audience, and maybe just a quick answer from your side. The question is from Koen Bakker of the Waste Transformers. What opportunities do you see in France regarding local food waste transformation with small-scale anaerobic digesters?
It is a big market for our circular economy law because we try to reduce at the source the food waste problems. So there is one, and in the French Plan de Relance, you will find a lot of opportunities to address local collectivities, for example, hospital, public schools, to develop your technology.
Great, thanks a lot. So we'll make sure to connect everyone later on after the session for any more private questions or to link directly. Thanks a lot, Olivier. Please bear with us for the panel session. We now move to the presentation of Axel Darut, who will give us an overview of the EPR regulation in France. Axel, the floor is yours.
Yes, hello everyone. Thanks a lot for the invitations. Thanks to Olivier for these first presentations on the Plan de Relance. I will make it short, so I will give you, first of all, an overview of the regulations, and then some dispositions that are quite important regarding business opportunities. By the way, I'm from Citeo. Citeo is the largest EPR organization in Europe. We are in charge of household packaging and graphic papers, and I'm in charge of EU and international offers. Let's go to the next slide, please. Thanks a lot. So overview of the current regulations on packaging in France. So we have a hard law part and a soft law part. The hard law includes the anti-waste law for a circular economy that was published in February. We will discuss just after the main provisions that are quite important. We have the French strategy on plastics with a decree that is under discussions, the 3R decree regarding reductions, reusability, and recycling scheme to have concrete reductions targets on plastic use and specifically virgin plastic use. And we have a soft law part with the Citizens' Climate Conventions that is currently also under discussions with some more than 146 measures. 8 working groups under these Citizens' Climate Conventions with a focus on plastics and packaging. And we also have the European Pact on Plastic Packaging, as you know, that was officially announced in March, and which is linked also with the national pacts that we have since February last year. I think Olivier has his mic on. Could we go to the next slide, please? Thanks a lot. So regarding the main provision of the circular economy law, so as you know, it's the most ambitious law that we have at the European level, with transpositions of the circular economy package of the European Union, but with some measures that goes forward than just the EU regulations. So we have measures to improve consumer informations on packaging and also on products, with a specific mandatory requirement on the 3-man logo. We have EPR measures. So as you know, we are champions on EPR in France with more than 15 EPR organizations to manage the end life of the product. And we have new 5 EPR schemes, specifically on sanitary textile, on do-it-yourself articles, on toys, and on cigarette butts. We have new financial terms and new costs for the EPR scheme, specifically with the generalizations of eco-modulations. Citeo was really in favor of eco-modulations. We've put in place eco-modulations through bonus and malus system since 9 years. And now the public authorities in France take the opportunity to have eco-modulations for all EPR schemes. So it's quite a good tool to really improve the recyclability and reusability of products. We have ban on single-use plastic, which is quite in line with the single-use plastic directive. We had a debate on deposit refund system, and we didn't have an agreement on DRS, but we will take a look on the figures in 2023, and we'll see if we need a DRS system specifically for plastic beverage bottles and aluminum cans. And there will be a pilot project on DRS in ultra-peripheral regions and specifically in Guadeloupe. Next slide, please. We have a concrete timeline at the national scale regarding plastic. We're not going into details because you will have access to the slide, but just to let you know that it's a transposition of the Single-Use Plastic Directive, plus some further bans, specifically on tea bags and on some plastic packaging, with a concrete target to have not anymore single-use plastic packaging by 2040 in the French market. Next slide, please. Furthermore, we have new obligations regarding the EPR scheme. The obligations to integrate a recycling channel, incorporations of recycled materials through the eco-modulations, and it will be also in line with the revisions that we will have regarding the packaging and packaging waste directive at European level, with the essential requirements and new recycling content targets for packaging. We have new missions regarding also the data, so to allow waste management operators to have access to technical information relating to the presence of dangerous substances. And we have a new mission as an EPR organizations for packaging to have electronic reporting facility to enable consumers to have access to data and also informations on packaging, and to tell to the applications if they consider that packaging is excessive one. Next slide, please. We also have reuse targets, and it's very challenging one, with 5% of reused packaging marketed in France in 2023 and 10% in 2027. It includes all packaging, so not only household, but also industrial and commercials. And of course, with a specific focus on Eureka sector, so coffee, hotels, and restaurants. Next slide, please. And as you all know, we have a national pact on plastic packaging, with the target to have all plastic packaging 100% reusable, recyclable, or compostable. That is fully in line with the European Pact on Plastic, and also needs to have a common coordinations with other initiatives, such as the one in Netherlands, the one in UK, in Poland, and also in Portugal, that are member states that have also launched pacts on plastics, with a focus on plastic packaging. Thanks a lot, and I remain at your disposal if you have any questions through the chats or by email.
Thanks a lot, Axel. There's a question from Pascal from the audience, and I think you already said a lot, of course, on the recycling and the plastic packs, but he wonders, is there any new legislation on plastic particles in the separated organic fraction from food waste fed to the biodigesters?
Not yet, but I'm thinking it's more linked to the work that we have at European level regarding regulatory framework on the organic waste collections that needs to be implemented for 2023 in line with the Waste Framework Directive. And we will have also a regulatory framework on bio-based products and compostable products. We don't know yet if it will be a directive or regulations or a communications or guidelines from the commissions, but I think it will answer to your questions regarding the separate organic fractions from food waste fed to biodigester.
Yeah, thanks. And so thanks a lot, Axel. And please stay with us also. We will get back to you. And of course, maybe some of the questions can be answered by the chat box or the Q&A. You were already referring to, let's say, the European Plastic Pact, of course, and how the local plastic packs are closely connected. And that's why we also invited a speaker from the Netherlands of Rijkswaterstaat, Martijn van Rijn, who's the secretary of the Plastics Pact in the Netherlands, also to share a bit his view on how the plastic packs change the value chain and what opportunities and impact it may have on the value chain. Martijn, may I invite you to introduce yourself and your role?
Yes, thank you, Ruben. Good morning, everybody. My name is Martijn van Rijn. I work for Rijkswaterstaat. And Rijkswaterstaat is part of the Ministry of Infrastructure and Water Management in the Netherlands. I'm the secretary of the Plastics Pact Netherlands, but I was also involved in the installation of the European Plastics Pact. And thank you for this opportunity to tell something about the Plastics Pact and the innovations that it brings for the waste management facilities. First, a little bit a broader picture, because I'm speaking about the Plastics Pact, but working on plastics, on the value chain of plastics, it also gives a contribution to 3 challenges we have in the Netherlands, but I think in the whole world. Working on the value chain of plastics will have an effect on circular economy, will work on climate, and also has an effect on the energy. We're moving away from fossil to other ways of energy. But the important thing is that all 3 challenges and the work that we're doing in the Plastics Pact is a movement towards more sustainability. And so our Plastics Pact is also contributing to 3 bigger goals than just plastics. The next slide, please. As mentioned, I was asked to tell you something about the Dutch Plastics Pact, or the Plastics Pact Netherlands. The Plastics Pact Netherlands was signed in February 2019 already. We were the second after the Plastics Pact UK. And the Plastics Pact Netherlands is a pact between the Dutch Ministry of Infrastructure and Water Management. And at the moment, there are over 110 companies or organizations that signed the pact. And together with these organizations, companies, we work together on new solutions to close the value chain on plastics packaging and single-use plastics. But as Axel just explained, now please go back to the previous slide. As Axel just explained, the Plastics Pact Netherlands is not the only one. There's also a Plastics Pact France. There is a European Plastics Pact and a Polish Plastics Pact, and a lot of other plastics pacts are in development for the moment, and they're all managed by the Ellen MacArthur Foundation in the Plastics Pact network. But next to the Plastics Pacts, you also see other initiatives coming up, like the Circular Plastics Alliance. There's a PCEP initiative, and European legislation is coming up on plastics. And all together, we are working towards the same goal and closing the plastics loop. Yeah, please, next slide. I'm here to tell you something about the Plastics Pact Netherlands, but there's a big, the targets we have in the Netherlands are almost identical to the other plastics pacts that are available, only the percentages might differ a little bit. I think in the Netherlands we have one of the most ambitious targets, but it's almost identical to the ones in France and other countries. To quickly go through them, there are 4 targets in the Netherlands, and that's why we need the cooperation in the whole value chain, and that's why we have a plastics pact in the Netherlands to tackle them all together. Well, the first target is that we're going to work on 100% recyclable plastics. So the plastic should be reusable or at least 100% recyclable in 2025. And that means that a lot of packaging that is available now needs to be redesigned, designed for recycling. And this will also have an effect on the waste that waste streams in 2025, of course. The second target is that we are going for a 20% reduction of the volume of plastic used. And that's not just a hard reduction, but it's just a reduction to stop using plastics that are not needed. The third target is that all plastics that are brought on the market in the Netherlands, that 70% of that actually will be recycled. So, especially for the collection, sorting, and recycling companies, that is a big challenge. We need to collect more, to sort the waste, the plastic waste better, but also make sure that all plastics are actually recycled. And the fourth target is that we want in 2025 that all new plastics packaging or single-use plastics consist out of at least 35% recycled materials. And that's also really a big challenge. A lot of innovation is needed there. The next slide, please. as I mentioned in the previous slide, we have 4 targets. We have also a lot of companies that are active in the Plastics Pact Netherlands. And together, we are working together on these new products designed for recycling, and that will have an effect on the materials used, also on the labels, the glue on the inks, etc. The uptake of recycled plastics for food and non-food. And that's a difficult one for the moment, especially with the EFSA regulations and so on. And it also means that to be able to have a big uptake of recycled plastics in new packaging and products, the recycled materials needs to be very available, high quantities, but also the quality needs to improve. And we hope that we can make sure that it will be food grade at some time. Well, this Plastics Pact might also lead to the use of alternative materials. And I've written it behind the sentence, if there is a better LCA, because for the moment, we think that plastic is a really good material to use as packaging, might be the best one, but in some cases, alternative materials might perform better. And that will have an effect on the waste that will be produced in 2025. So if we want to reach our targets, we need to increase the capacity of the sorting, but also the quality of the sorting installations that we have now in the Netherlands. But I think there's also a big need for that in France. Recycling needs to innovate, and we need to recycle more monomaterials, food to food, as I just mentioned. And if mechanical recycling is not sufficient enough, we need to find other ways, and maybe chemical recycling is needed, and big innovations are needed there to, in the end, to have this new monomaterials of high quality available that we can reuse in this circle. And then the last 2 points, a little bit off topic, but all 4 targets of Plastics Pact. We also try to go from disposal to more reuse models, and this will have an effect on deposit return systems, for instance, and the washing of the returnable packaging. And also supermarkets that are big members of the Plastics Pact are asking their the suppliers to bring other products to the market. And also reuse options might come into place into supermarkets. So that will have a big effect on the waste streams in the future. So with this Plastics Pact in the Netherlands, in France, in the rest of Europe, I think there are big ambitions. The targets are high, and also the waste management industry needs to innovate and make able to that we can reach our goals together. Well, thank you for your attention.
Thanks a lot, Martijn, for sharing this with us. I think there are indeed a lot of links to be made with the Plastics Pact all over Europe, the same challenges. We have a question from Rogier, who asked, does chemical recycling for PE or PP films into naphtha count as recycling to you?
Well, in the Netherlands, we have a clear regulation for that. If chemical recycling is used to recycle plastics towards fuel, then it's not counted as recycling. If it's recycled towards a new raw material, then we count it as recycled material.
All right, well, that's clear. So no, thanks a lot, Martijn, and please stay with us for some final thoughts afterwards. Thanks for sharing this insights on what happens. So as organizers, we invited some Dutch companies to send in their video or corporate presentation to show some of the best practices on waste and circular economy. We received many great videos, and unfortunately we can only show you 3, but we'll send you the link to all the pitches after this meetup. So after this 3 short videos, we'll go to the French speakers and see what their comments would be on the videos and the technologies that are presented. We're going to have a watch to the pitches.
Currently, mobile phones lead linear lives. They are used only once before being disposed of. We believe that's a waste. The Rethink programme makes your telecom policy circular. We create new life cycles and see potential in scrap. This way, mobile phone usage becomes waste-free. We work with local partners in emerging markets. Together, we turn broken phones into value for all, delivering safe and clean jobs, more recycling, and less waste. Scarce metals are used again by closing loops. Rethink makes your phone purchase and disposal circular. Are you ready to become a frontrunner? Rethink your phones.
Elk jaar worden er in Nederland ruim 250 miljoen kilo citrusschillen weggegooid. En die belanden veelal in verbrandingsovens en dat is hartstikke zonde, want daarbij gaan de grondstoffen die in de schil zitten voor altijd verloren. Samen met compagnons Bas van Wieringen en Lindy Hensen hebben wij toen Peelpiners opgericht en dit is het resultaat. Wij zamelen sinaasappelschillen in die overblijven na het persen van verse jus d'orange. Bijvoorbeeld in je supermarkt om de hoek. En die schillen die zamelen in met oranje bakken. En wij verwerken hier op deze locatie elke dag 3 vrachtwagens vol met bakken met sinaasappelschillen.
Voor onze productie ontvangen we dollarse kliko's. De kliko's die zijn gecontroleerd door de chauffeur van Renewy. Hetzelfde, dat doen wij nog een keer hier bij onze doseerbunker. Dat doen we om de kwaliteit te garanderen en de kwaliteit te borgen, zodat er een mooi product uitkomt. Als de schillen gestort zijn, komen ze over de leesband, gaan ze door de waterbak waar ze gewassen worden. Dan gaan ze de opvoerband op. En daar vallen ze in de machines, waar ze middels een mechanisch proces worden verwerkt tot 2 producten. Dat doen we food grade. En wat we dan hebben is citruspulp voor veevoeder en D-limoneen, oftewel etherische olie, gewonnen uit de citrusschil.
Wij geloven dat als je duurzame impact wil maken, je niet duurder kan zijn dan de bestaande alternatieven. En daarom zijn onze prijzen concurrerend met de huidige manieren hoe je zowel sinaasappelschillen kan afvoeren, als ook hoe je olie en veevoer kan kopen. We zijn dus niet duurder dan de bestaande alternatieven.
If food waste were a country, it would be the 3rd largest greenhouse gas emitter in the world. Hi, my name is Laurans van Rijn. I'm the founder of the Waste Transformers. The Waste Transformers team is on a mission to ensure that food waste no longer goes to landfill, is no longer burnt, and therefore that there's no more greenhouse gas emissions based on food waste. And the way that we do that is on one of these babies, a waste transformer that I'm standing on right now. We realize our energy hubs in a way that is decentralized, that's local, that's close to home. We want to ensure that there's a waste transformer on every single street corner, at every airport, every train station, every hotel is able to really take responsibility for their own waste and generate value from that waste. The way that we do that is we process that organic waste inside our installations, we turn it into a biogas. That biogas can be used to create green energy. We also recover all the water, and at the same time we recover all of the nutrients inside that waste and make a really rich compost. The way that we want to go to market is with something we call the business in a box. We hope you're going to join our revolution and you too will become a waste transformer.
So great to see all these videos, and of course, you know, staying in the organic flow, it's comparing apples and pears. But I would like to invite the French speakers, maybe start with Clotilde, to give a bit of a view on what you think out of those 3 videos would be well, most valuable for France, or what's the one that appeals to you most? Clotilde. Clotilde, I think you're still on mute or not connected. Maybe, well, Clotilde.
Yeah.
Hi.
Sorry, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. So Clotilde, we were just asking about the videos. I hope your connection was right and that you've
No,
seen...
yeah, it was not that good. That's the issue.
No.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we hear you. Maybe we'll first go to Olivier Chazal of Ademe. Maybe I'll get back to you, Clotilde, in 2 minutes.
Okay, sounds good.
See if your connection is better by then. Olivier, if you review those videos, what's your takeaway on that?
Oh, I think they're very interesting technologies, and the French market could be a real opportunity for them, mainly in the food waste treatment. So for me, there are plenty of opportunity in the French Plan de Relance, and also in regard of the French law about circular economy. So I invite these companies to meet French local authorities and French companies to develop their business in France.
Yeah, because that was already in your presentation, I guess, and there was also your advice to Dutch companies that want to do business in France. It would be good to find a good French partner and a local partner.
Of course, yeah, and I invite also this company to meet them. In Ademe, we manage a network called Club Ademe International, which is a network of French eco companies, Cleantech companies. Could be the French partners for the Dutch companies to develop their business in France. So they have to contact me. I also manage this activity for them, so they could get in touch with me to make the go-between.
Great next step for the companies as well. Thanks a lot, Olivier, also for joining. Axel, moving over to you. Maybe a few quick comments from your side.
Yeah, I think it's good applications of what the circular economy law is waiting for. The Closing the Loop initiative is really linked with the repairability indicators and the access to spare parts that we did with the applications of the law at the French scale. And regarding the Peel Pioneers and the Waste Transformer initiative, it's really linked with the need that we have regarding the collections and the valorizations of bio-waste and food waste, since we are really late at the national scale on these sectors. So it's really a good opportunity for such companies to be implemented in the French market.
Great, thanks a lot, Axel. Maybe a very quick comment from your side, Clotilde? No.
Yeah, is it better now? Can you?
Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah, sorry about that. Well, yeah, I mean, as Axel mentioned, I feel like the 3 examples were very good, like illustration of what could be circular economy. It's definitely a nice format as well, the video. I don't have much more comment on now.
No, thanks a lot. We'll get back to all the speakers for a final quote before we end. But before we do that, we have a very nice bit of a opportunity for our Dutch listeners who normally join Pollutec in Lyon, but of course cannot go this year because of COVID-19. So there's an opportunity to still join that network. So we're going to have a quick look at a video of Pollutec.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Nathalie. I'm head of sales and development for Pollutec Trade Show. First of all, thank you to NBSO, the Netherlands Business Support Office, for inviting me. Pollutec is renowned to be the most important multi-sector environmental technologies and solutions trade show in the world. Our physical edition will take place next year from October 5th to 8th. However, it was very important for us to be able to support all of our community right now in these difficult times. We decided to launch Pollutec Online from December 1st to 4th this year, which is an entirely digital edition. But should you have any question in this regard, do not hesitate to connect with us. Thank you very much.
So a great opportunity also for companies to liaise with any French partners that they might be looking for. So may I invite each speaker to give us a quick recap on the session, maybe 1 or 2 sentences max, because we're running out of time. Martijn, to start with you, maybe a quick takeaway on this session.
Thanks again for this opportunity. If I look back at the afternoon and my own presentation, I think it's clear that we're Europe, but especially the Netherlands and France, are moving towards more sustainability. And the waste agencies are a very important part of that change. We need to work together to close the circle on plastics and find new innovations to keep plastics in the circle.
Great. Thanks a lot, Martijn, for joining and your time. Maybe Axel, moving over to you.
Yes, thanks a lot for this event. It was very inspiring. I think we need implications of all the actors of the value chain, specifically companies such as the one that you present as a concrete solutions for the application of the law. I'm pleased to be here, and I'm really available if you have any questions regarding the regulatory challenges that we have in France. Thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot for joining, Axel. Clotilde.
Yes. I think cooperation is very key in the development of circular economy, and I'm glad that we have this cooperation between France and the Netherlands, and let's keep on cooperating. That would be my last word on that.
Yeah, I guess we need the international collaboration to scale up the innovations, right? Thanks a lot for joining, Clotilde. Looking forward to seeing you next time again.
Yes.
Olivier, from your side.
Yeah, I would like to say thank you to all, and emphasize the action to come in France, come to meet the French partners and use Orée or Ademe or all the network gather here to get information, and also what is very important, find French-speaking people to answer to all the public call of project, the call of tender that could go by the 2 years in the framework of the Plan de Relance, the French recovery plan. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Olivier, for being with us and sharing all these insights and information on the projects. Very valuable. So I guess overall, we can conclude there are a lot of projects going on, a lot of changes also in the value chain. I would like to give the floor for some last remarks to Leontine, Schijf and Joris Houtman of the Embassy and the NBSO. Leontine, maybe to start with you.
Yeah, thank you. I just wanted to share my observation that I see that in France there's a bit of a dilemma, because as Axel and Olivier and the others said, that EPR is very developed, but food waste, for example, is very underdeveloped. And so we see, and I'm very happy to see, these complementary assets between France and the Netherlands, and that is where the Dutch companies can help. So I want to reiterate that from the Embassy Network, we're here to assist you. After this session, our presentations and contact information will be shared with you. So don't hesitate to contact us, because we can help you. Also, as Olivier said, with the French information, we speak French, so we can help you make those first steps into the French market.
Thanks a lot, Leontine. Joris. Joris, you're still on mute.
Thank you everybody to following us. Thank to our partners. Now you see them online. We could not do this without them. Now you know what we do, where we are, and that we are here to support Dutch business in France. And you know our next event, Pollutec and matchmaking for the Green Days. Stay connected, and you are always welcome in Lyon. We hope to have you at our business lunches we call à table at NBSO Lyon, where you can taste the nice gastronomy in Lyon.
Thanks a lot, Joris. So overall, thank you for joining the session. I think a lot of opportunities if you look for collaboration between the Netherlands and France. Also some opportunities for follow-up. Join the upcoming sessions for Pollutec, or contact, of course, any of our speakers directly, or the NBSO or the MSC. Thanks a lot for being with us, and looking forward to seeing you next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.